Like many people, I had a period when I thought I didn't want anything, that nothing made sense. But then you remember that you need to eat, and that movement is life, and that this denial goes away sooner or later, and the sooner the better. Sooner or later, you have to make a move. You know, one of the worst feelings I've ever had, when your potential becomes a hostage of your body and mind. A person just starts to fade away, and this leads to numerous disorders that can eventually kill you. So just start reading, doing at least exercises, going for walks more often, discussing different topics with someone, so that your brain and body don't just become rusty. And sooner or later, you will see a very distant and vague direction. This is what you're interested in, and then your brain will guide you in that direction. The main thing is not to get bogged down and leave, because in the end, maybe you will find the same thing or maybe not. But without starting the journey, you will never know. I'm still on the road myself. It took me literally 6 years to just realize which way I wanted to go. Another 6 months to force myself to do something, to move in that direction. And I, like everyone else, have no idea where all this will lead me. So you're not the only one. We all are. But you don't have to rack your brain all day long and beat yourself up. Just do what you're good at and try different things, because nothing is true. It's all about the thrill. You don't need to be a snob. I used to be the same kind of smart teenager who talked about the perishability of existence, didn't listen, but argued. People say that I understood everything, although I didn't even try to understand it. Only with age do you realize what a shame it is. Instead of arguing, you should spend your energy on self-development. You won't prove anything to anyone. Broaden your horizons, because knowledge is needed to make life easier, not vice versa. In the end, I would like to discuss various topics with you. I think in the future we will be able to talk on streams or somewhere else. But for now, this is a small interactive for those who watch to the end, and the topic of the video suits you. I want to tell you how I am learning new chips. Now I'm trying to master the technique of different kinds of stories. You know, when there are two parallel lines in one story, which are woven into one at the end. In my school days, I didn't prioritize learning, yet I graduated with honors and excelled in exams without much effort. I continued this trend through my bachelor's and master's degrees, achieving top scores effortlessly. Despite not working in my field of study, I gained valuable experience and knowledge. I discovered my passion for learning from a global perspective and sharing my thoughts. As a researcher, I worked with professors, taught students, and even had the opportunity to join a research laboratory. However, I realized the restrictions and lack of interest in the subject matter made me unhappy. Despite offers for a successful career in academia, I declined, questioning if it was truly what I wanted. I pondered the fundamental differences between studying different subjects and concluded that information is information, and the significance lies in how you interpret it. Although I studied physics and biology, my true passion lies in creative work. I chose a less conventional path, acknowledging the possibility of returning to academia in the future. Or not. The work you like will not be perfect, and there is no work that you will never get bored with. It will not be something magical or easy. Any job gets boring. Any action gets boring anyway. You have to do it out of necessity, regardless of income or other motivation. Like everything in this world, nothing is perfect. And unfortunately, even a dream job will lead to apathy, fatigue, and a creative crisis. And if we think about vocation, we all realize that, if we had an extra income, it would take the burden off our shoulders, and many would start doing what they like. But the reality is more complicated. Everyone has a different psyche and different physical abilities. So you need to look for what you have the best chance of becoming the best at. And how do I know what I could theoretically become a master at? The only answer I've come up with is to do as much as you can and learn as much as you can. Just experiment. The more you have different skill levels, the more and more diverse the experience you farm, and not just hack quartz, the more chances you have to find the business you like. All of us are dependent on income and everyday needs. But there would be no interest and excitement if it were easy and affordable, to be honest. This is in addition to the usual references in the video sequence and script. But since I'm just learning how to look like this, it's about the previous video. This is the one that starts with a phrase from the movie Reaching for the Heavens. It's about the sea being reported in heaven, and the movie is about two guys who don't have much time left because of an illness. This is followed by my more superficial speech about my experience, which is light in contrast to the heavy plot of the movie. After the speech at the end, there is again footage from the film, where they are already at the finish line at sea. That is, in heaven. They have realized the new meaning. And there is a video sequence in parallel with the phrases that it is still my fertilizer and there is no need to drizzle like the two main characters because it is pointless. There was also supposed to be a soundtrack from the song of the same name by Bob Dylan, which would have fit perfectly. Well, copyright, all that stuff, but that's briefly what I've been doing with my brain for the last 6 months. For some people, it's pointless. But for me, it's a thrill. But this is about the topic we discussed in this video. I hope we will talk about other films and videos in the future. See you soon.